everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Today I want to talk about a product from Jack Daniel's. It's called Gentleman Jack. I'm sure you've all seen it in your local stores. This is another whiskey that's pretty readily available anywhere you go. Maybe sometimes you might have to go into one of your more, not like a cheap old liquor store, but like a grocery store or someplace that sells bottles that are a little bit more expensive. It's not bottom shelf stuff. It's this one's about I think it was $22.99 before tax, just a shade under $25 out the door. So it definitely fits into our price range here. So anyway, let's talk about this. Talk a little bit about Jack Daniel's himself. He was born in, I believe, the mid 1800s. I can't remember if it was 1849 maybe. I think it was 1849 though. He was the youngest of like 10 children, and he was kind of doing his own things, in his childhood, and he was taken in by a preacher and a moonshine maker named Dan Call, and when he was about 13, 14 years old, and living with Dan Call for a little bit, he was taught how to distill whiskey, and there was also a slave at the time that lived on the property named Nearest Green was his name, and he also taught Jack how to make whiskey. So don't want to forget his name to history either. So anyway, in 1875, Jack Daniel inherited some money, a large sum of money from his father, and he put that toward opening his own distillery. And Jack Daniel's distillery has been going strong since 1875. They've been owned by the Brown-Forman Corporation since 1956, and this is considered one of their higher-end products. You have Old Number 7, of course. There's so many different variations of Jack Daniel's whiskey. We wanted to talk about them a little bit today. We talked about Jim Beam last time, and I'm not going to get into it too much. I know that's kind of a rivalry back in Tennessee and Kentucky, maybe even further than that. But I think they both make a good product. They both make very good whiskey. So I just want to give credit where it's due to both those places. And today's Jack Daniel's turn. So I guess without further ado, we will give this a pour. Okay. And by the way, this is I believe this is aged the same as Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. I want to say, unless somebody can prove me wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say this is aged right around 4 years or so, and it's aged around 4 years, and this one, I think the big difference in this is it's twice mellowed over, twice filtered over charcoal, so it gives it a bit of a smoother taste, a more elegant taste, I guess. So anyway, let's take a look at the color here. All right, and the color, what we get is like a light to medium amber color here, maybe a little light orange there. Been aged for 4 years, I believe. So You know, has a nice color. You know, it's not one of the lighter ones that we've reviewed so far. You know, it's got a little more color than the ones that are aged 2 or 3 years, of course. So anyway, take a nose, I guess. You'll have to excuse me, by the way. I'm a little tired today. Been up since about 3 o'clock this morning, so if I sound a little groggy, that's the reason. Okay, on the nose, we get a strong smell of corn right off the bat. This mash bill, I believe it's the same mash bill as old number 7. Correct me if I'm wrong again, but if that's the case, this is 80% corn, 8% rye, and 12% malted barley on the mash bill. So you're going to get that heavy corn smell, which I love personally. You know, people are doing all, you know, corn whiskeys, rye whiskeys, you know, which are of course my 2 favorites. But you know, you got wheated whiskeys now, and anyway, this is a nice high corn content, 80%, like I said. So you get that, you get that, you know, caramel and toffee smell that you get with a lot of you know, bourbons and Tennessee whiskeys. You do get a little spice. I know I said you know, it's only got 8% rye in the mash bill, but it's got like a cinnamon spice to it. Cinnamon or maybe clove, something like that. It's not quite, you know, a rye spice. So anyway, I think I've probably talked about the nose enough. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, on the taste, you get a lot of the same stuff you get on the nose. You get a lot of corn, caramel and toffee, a little bit of spice. You can taste the oak in there, definitely. A little bit of, I want to say, it's got a nice long finish to it. You know, it's not a really heavily bodied, you know, whiskey, but you know, I've had thicker whiskeys, you know. This one is this was an 80 proof, 40%. So it's not a, you know, say just a full thick bodied whiskey like you get with Wild Turkey or something that's got almost like a sappy like chew to it, you know. But anyway, you do get you know, it's a nice you know, medium bodied whiskey, I'd say. You know, you get a lot of there's a lot of taste in here. All those things I said, you know, it's got that it's got the oak and grapefruit, a little bit of maybe like lemon peel, something like that. But it's a good whiskey. I mean, you can definitely, I mean, it's no knock to old number 7, because you know, old number 7, you know, it's the favorite whiskey for a lot of people. You know, I'll drink some old number 7 sometimes, but I definitely prefer this. This is a very nice product. Just tastes like a better product, you know. So other than that, I think that's it. I mean, you can find this, as I said, anywhere, just about anywhere. Probably anywhere from on sale. You can get it for, you know, $21, $22 probably before tax. But you know, it's usually up in the mid-20s, I'd say, somewhere between 25 and 28 bucks, something like that, around here. So if you can find a bottle of it, give it a shot. It's definitely worth your time. Until next time, cheers.